How does vicarious liability make someone responsible for another's injury? Imagine a situation where a person causes harm, but the law holds someone else accountable even if they didn't directly cause the injury. That's the core idea behind vicarious liability. It is a legal principle that makes one person or organization responsible for the wrongful acts of another, based on their relationship. This concept is especially common in personal injury law because it helps injured parties get compensation from parties who have the ability to pay. The most typical example is an employer and employee relationship. If an employee causes an accident while doing their job, the employer can be held responsible. This is because the employee was acting within the scope of their employment when the injury happened. For instance, if a delivery driver crashes a vehicle while making deliveries, the employer might be liable. But if the driver was running a personal errand unrelated to work, the employer probably wouldn't be responsible. For vicarious liability to apply, two main conditions need to be met. First, there must be a qualifying relationship between the person who caused the injury and the party being held responsible. Besides employer and employee, this can include a principal and an agent, a parent and a minor child, or a vehicle owner and a driver. Second, the injury must occur while the person was acting within the scope of that relationship. The reason behind vicarious liability is that the party who controls and benefits from the activity should also bear responsibility for any harm caused. This helps injured people get fair compensation, especially when the person who caused the injury does not have enough money or insurance to cover damages. In real life, vicarious liability often comes up in car accidents, workplace injuries, and cases where someone acts on behalf of another. It can also apply when parents are responsible for their minor children, or when someone authorizes another person to act for them. Understanding how vicarious liability works is important because it influences who might be responsible for paying medical bills, lost wages, or other damages. In short, vicarious liability makes someone responsible for another person's injury because of the relationship between them and the fact that the injury happened while they were performing their duties. This principle helps ensure that injured individuals have a better chance of receiving the compensation they need to recover.